In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Hey there folks, this is Doug. Keri's off visiting the relatives. If you're new to this channel, we are two rebels off grid. We left Colorado as fast as we could. We set up camp here in Cochise County, Arizona, and making residence upon Outlaw Acres farmstead. And in these days, we're seeing more and more people calling bad good and things that are good as bad. So us calling ourselves rebel to us is an honorable thing. Today I'm heading up to the top of the hill where we will be working on that chicken tower again. Beautiful day out. Beautiful day. And we're going to try to get some stuff done while Keri is away. That way she comes back in a couple days and is happy to see some progress. You know what? It's Easter. I'm not doing this. Not today. So you might be trying to understand what I'm doing today. Well, folks, we are going trailblazing. Just like the old pioneers, the scouts, the rangers, finding undiscovered lands. Although in the day, I'm sure this land was frequented by gold prospectors and the likes. So there's not too many places in the world that is left to be unexplored. However, there are places for us as individuals to explore that we've never seen before. Understandably, but we're gonna make a trail, a path. We're gonna carry a little weight on our backs and just do some exploring, blazing through the desert. Like I said, it's Easter. I feel like I gotta do something different besides work today. I was looking at some meme or something on YouTube the other day, and it showed in the 1950s, New York City was lit up on Easter with crosses on all the skyscrapers. That's only been 50 years later, and now that's becoming one of those things that are bad. We're down by the wash. We're looking for something in particular. And I'll know when I've found it when I see it. we must go back to the campsite because I need to pick up some stuff. So we got our snake boots on, and it's been a lot of videos where I reference to this mountain up here. I won't disclose the name of it because that would disclose where I live. And we don't want to do that. But finally, I've decided to take this day to go up on top, go exploring in my mind. This is a undiscovered country, and I believe that I'm going to have a real good view of our property from up there. So here I am up on the mountain, or going down the mountain, I should say. Quite the experience going up there. There's something you don't know about us, is that Keri and I are avid through hikers. So what that means is that we start at one point and we go all the way through, and we end up at another point and exit off the trail. Whereas normal hiking, you go in and back. Through hiking and homesteading, to me, are all the same thing. It's an analogy for homesteading. Whereas everyday living, you're going through, you're going in and back, in and back. You're going to work, you're coming back home, going to work, coming back home. Whereas homesteading, you're going through the unknown. You're coming out the other side, not knowing what your blessings are going to be in front of you at the end of the trail. Backpacking, to me, is very similar to homesteading, because when you commit to a 10-day hike and you're carrying everything in except maybe your water, you're getting that on the way. Everything you need is in the bag. Everything that you need to sustain yourself is in the bag. Same with homesteading. Everything that is going to sustain you needs to be on that homestead. It needs to be in there. Your water, your shelter, your food, your tools, anything that you need to survive needs to be also on your homestead. And so when I do through hiking, typically we do about 100 miles at a time, anywhere from 70 to 90 pounds on our backs, and that will get us through. Now, times are getting harder and the future is very uncertain. So Keri and I's goal is to try to get as much in our backpack on our homestead to sustain us through hard times. It is possible, it's very difficult, but it's one of those things you need to really think about when you are committing to a homestead. Another thing that you might not know about Keri and I, I'm going to give you a little insight onto us. About 12 years ago, I met Keri, but I've been basically prepping since I was in my early 20s. So you can honestly call me a prepper. As time went by, I met Keri and we both began prepping. And that's because we did not know what a future is going to be like, and we don't want to be relying upon the government or any other entities such as that to get us by. We want to be prepared. We want to be responsible adults and be able to take care of ourselves. And if we have a little extra, help others also, of course. So we were preppers. I also got into getting into wanting to be prepared for bugging out or any other situation. I know some of you guys don't know what bugging out is, but it means basically you have everything in your backpack ready to go. It's next to the front door. If something was to happen in your neighborhood or something like that, you would be able to just grab the bag and go. As time went by and maturity evolved within me, I realized that bugging out, and especially after traveling and seeing the country, bugging out is very unrealistic. Anybody that's flown over a plane knows that every square inch of this country is owned by somebody or something or some corporation. You are not going to be able to just bug out into the countryside without trespassing. And some trespassers are not going to be welcomed that well, especially in a world that might be going out of a law and order situation and going into more of a chaotic situation. A lot of people have moved out here for different reasons. Some people come out here because they believe that their way of their building, the way that they're living helps the environment and such. Keri and I are not that type of person. We are into permaculture, we are into sustainability in that, but we are not ones that are out here for that reason. We came out here as a preemptive strike. We felt the need to get going and not just sit back passively waiting for until it's too late. We came out here directly to build, to sustain ourselves so that we're not hooked to that umbilical cord into the system as much as we can. And I know there's a few of you out there that are also out here because of that reason. And you don't have to be in Arizona to be a prepper or a bug out specialist, whatever you want to call it. Is all I'm saying is we gave up the idea of bugging out. It was very improbable. It was very unrealistic to do so. And so here we found ourselves, instead of putting everything in a bag, we're putting everything on this land, on this property. And it would be our last stand, so to say, property. A lot of things are going on. I'm not going to go into that type of a rant here. You can leave things in the description below. I know a lot of you will disagree with what I'm talking about and thinking it's very unrealistic that anything like that could happen. Civilization's collapsing. It's a never heard of concept. Just joking. I'm being sarcastic. Civilizations have fallen before. I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, hoping that everything's going to go perfectly well in the rest of my life. I do believe that if all this nonsense washes away and nothing comes of it, then we are living a beautiful life in the countryside, right? And if things happen to go a little worse than that, then we are ready for that also. And prepping is not a modern concept at all. And I would like to point you in the direction of the Bible, in particular Noah. And you knew that Noah prepared for many, many, many years for things that he was just, it wasn't, God was speaking to him. And, I don't know, he must have very strong faith because he had that inkling to go out there and build that huge ark and prepare as he should have. There was also times in Egypt where the Pharaoh, Moses, was actually asked to build big silos because he was told in a dream that there was going to be famine for 7 years. So he ended up doing that, and it ended up that the pharaohs had so much grain left over that they could sell it to other countries that were around them during that famine. So prepping is not something for the paranoid. It's not anything like that. It's just being responsible individuals, in my opinion. Another thing that I'd like to discuss is just through hiking, getting out, climbing to the top of the mountain. I'm not really too concerned with getting to the top of mountains these days. I actually find that I have more of a fun time staying in the valleys and staying in the shade and stuff. But hiking is the biggest analogy out there also, because you're self-reliant. If you get hurt out there, there's nobody out there to pick you up and get you home safely. You're on your own. You have to be responsible to be safe on that path. You have to make the right choices getting to the top. So folks, if you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed filming it, then please go ahead and hit a thumbs up button. We'll be back to you soon with another video as soon as Keri gets back, and we really appreciate your support. Thanks a lot from Outlaw Acres Farmstead. And almost forgot, happy Easter and God bless.